Okay, yeah. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome back to our session. Last session we seen about Docker, right? Fine. In today's session, we will go for Docker file concept. But before that, like, what is Docker? Docker is a containerization tool. What is container again? Container is a process of. I am asking about what is container, not containerization. Container is like a server which does not have any operating system. What is the command to download the Ubuntu image? Docker pull. No, sure. Right? What's happening? We have to start the Docker engine. Without Docker engine, can we get the images? No. What is the command then? Then is the command going to work now? Yes, right? Okay. So already you know OS level of virtualization, right? What is the meaning of OS level of virtualization? How can you define? Complete taking the complete backup of your operating system. If you take the backup of OS in the image, you can reuse that image for multiple times. Correct or not, sir? So by using which command we done it? Docker commit, right? So in today's session, we are going to make it automate. In last session, you learned it, but that is manual way. Which way? But in today's session, we are going to make it on automation way. So how to do it? Let's check it out. So here you need to understand about Docker file. So make the heading as Docker file, all of you. Docker file. Name of the concept is? So basically, Docker file is an automation way of creating the image. What is Docker file? Here we use Docker components to create the image. So, are you seeing the components? This is what we can call as Docker components. Okay. So by using the Docker file, it's a basic file which can create the images in automation way. Already we've seen what we have seen. First we run the image. First we pull the image. We run the container. In that container, we install everything manually, right? In last class. But here what I'll do is I'll use the file. In that file, I'll put what are the packages to download. I'll put what is the image I want. Everything I put on a Docker file. Okay. So this file is going to automate my image creation process. Here we use Docker components to create the image in Docker file. D must be capital and components also. Are you seeing the components here from run, CMD, entry point? Are you able to see them? Like that. Here we can create image directly without container help. What it is telling? Basically, if you want to create container, you need to have image or not, sir. But with the help of Docker, image will be created directly. We don't need container help. Already in last class, with the help of container only, we create image. You remember? But here, without help of the container also, you can create the image directly. So that is what the concept of Docker file is going to teach for us. Okay. Fine. Just write it's an automation way of image creation, right? Only this single point. Why? Because I tell only a few important points to understand. It's an automation way of creating image. Fine. So now see here what exactly it is going to happen. So go here, VIM Docker file. First component I use here is from component. Which one? From means it is going to select the basic image. For example, if you want to install the if you want to install packages, you need to have operating system or not, sir? This from component will be able to select the base image. Here, base image is our operating system. What is my operating system I'm taking here? Ubuntu. Next, run. First of all, if I want to install any package, I need to use apt update, right? apt update -y. From component is to take the basic image of the container. If I want to get any basic image, I need to use from. Run is to execute the Linux commands. Run is to execute the Linux command. So here again, I'm using run. What is run command here? Execute the Linux commands. If I want to install Apache, what is the command I need to use? apt install Apache to -y. Now this command will be directly executing by using which component? Run. If you want to create a file, what is the command? Touch. But to execute Linux command, you need to use here touch file one. Let's take this example first. Okay. Save this one. So this is my basic Docker file. Okay. Now this Docker file is having some instructions. What this Docker file is having? If I run this Docker file, it will create an image for me. Here, how many images I have, sir? One image, right? There is a command called docker build. Docker build is the command. Docker build is the command that is going to run the Docker file. Docker build -t. -t for tag. My image name is Raham version 1 image. Which one? With the help of Docker command, I am building the image. What is the tag for the image? Raham is the tag. What it is? And here you give dot. Dot means my Docker file is on current directory. With the help of Docker file only, we can build the image. Where is my Docker file? Current folder. Current folder means can we give dot or not, sir? Hit enter. Automatically, this will create the image for me. I won't do anything now. Automatically, image will create. What are the commands you given? That commands will be entering to the image. That image I can attach to the container. Just check it out. Is the image built successfully now? Previously, how many images do we have, sir? But now how many? Now this Raham image is having Apache and file1. Why? Because Apache and file1 we put on Docker file or not? You want me to show? Cat Docker file. Are you seeing the components here? Now this Raham image is having base image of Ubuntu, and this Raham image is updated, and in this Raham image you install Apache 2, and in this Raham image you create the. Now this image is having all the set of instructions in this Docker file. From the image, can we create container? Tell me the command to create container from the image. Docker run it name container 1 and image Raham v1. First of all, it is updated. Next, what I install here? Apache 2 -v. Are you seeing Apache? Next, what I am doing here? Creating of file1. Am I seeing file1 here? That means whatever you want to do, write that in the file. That file will create the image. And from that image, we are going to create the container. See, this is how it is going to work. Wait. Let me show you the last class thing. First of all, last class, whatever we have done, I'll show you. For you, where I have drawn the architecture. Okay, fine. So now go ahead and see here. For example, I am taking this one as a reference as of now. So first of all, we'll create a file. What we'll create? From this file, what we will write? We will write instructions. What we will write? Instruction means what need to be done. From this file, what we're gonna create? We're gonna create an image. What we're gonna create? So it's my Docker file. And it's my image. From the image, what we're gonna create here again? Container we're gonna create. Okay. So remember, only two things. Docker file. From Docker file, you will get the image. From the image, what you gonna create? Container. Okay. Whatever the things you want on image, you need to put on Docker file. Where you need to put on? For example, in my image, this time I want to install Java. What I want to install? So if I want to install Java on image, where I need to put the command? In Docker file. You have the clarity? Let's do it. So just come out of the container by using Control PQ. But before that, let me give the Docker file example. I'll give multiple examples for you for your more clarity even. So here you have. It is the example number 1. Okay. And these components, everything I'm taking from here. Why? Because again, we are going to use the same thing on your class also. So this is the Docker file and it is the components of Docker file. So after creating this one, how to build the image, sir? Docker build -t image name Raham v1 dot. And how to create container? Docker run it name container 1 image Raham v1. Clear now? Like that. Now go for example 2. Here I want to install Java. What I want to install? Sure, Sunil, don't worry. I'll tell. So if I want to run a Linux command, which component I need to use? Run. How to install Java? apt install default JRE. Default JDK. Okay. So here I'm running Java now. What I'm running? Java. So what I have done in the example 2, I use the same Docker file, but I add the Java. So now you have the Docker file. What you're gonna do? You're gonna build it. What is the command? Docker build 20. Tell me, image name, Raham. You can take V2 now. Already you have V1, right? You can take V2 or you can use V1 also. That's fine. Is it installing Java now? Now it will install Java and it is automatically going to create a image. From that image, what you gonna create again? Good. Yes, Sunil, definitely it need to be. Is it done now? So if you go and see, click on Docker images. Docker images. Are you seeing Raham V2? Now in this Raham V2, you have Java also. So I will create a container. Tell me the command to create container. Docker run name container to image. So check the Java hyphen version. Are you seeing Java? And previously you have also Apache, right? And are you seeing file one? Everything coming or not, sir? Come out of the container. Clear now? So whatever the things we want inside the container, we will put them on a text file. That is Docker file. If you run the Docker file will create automatically. Tell me what it will create. From the image, what you're gonna create? Clear now? Like that. So next component is going to be CMD component. Which component? What is purpose of using run component? To run Linux command, right? CMD also same purpose. Okay. Here I list to run apt install MySQL hyphen server. I'm installing MySQL. Okay. As well as I'm using CMD this time, but apt install maven hyphen y. What I'm installing? If you use run command, it will be installing MySQL on image. But if you use CMD, this command will run after container created. I'll tell you clarity. Previously, in this terminal, command will be executing while during the image creation, right? But if you use CMD, this command will execute after container creation. If you want me to show, I'll show it lively. See. Again, Docker build hyphen t Raham. Is it installing MySQL here? Installing or not, sir? MySQL will install, but Maven will not install. Why? Because I use CMD. CMD will install package after container will be created. Check it now if you want. Permission end will come by default. Don't worry about it, okay? Sir, are you seeing apt install Maven? Is Maven installed here? No. Why? Because if Maven is installed, we need to get packages like this, right? Whenever I use the command, see, apt install MySQL means here MySQL is installing or not. That means whenever I use apt install Maven, basically Maven also need to get logs like this, but Maven is not installed. Why? Because here what you are using, if you use CMD, if you create container, then only Maven is going to install. See now, Docker run -it -name container number 3 image Raham. Now if I hit enter, now Maven will be installing. See, installing Maven now. Are you spotting the difference now? Difference is very clear. What is the difference here? Run component used to run the Linux command, but when it will run the Linux command during image creation, but CMD also used to execute the Linux command, but it will go after container. Is it practically clear now? Everyone? All in, what about you? Can you please confirm, is it practically clear for all of you? Fine. So next here, entry point. Entry point is nothing but high priority than CMD. For example, in a Docker file, if we have CMD and entry point both, entry point will execute first. Okay. CMD and entry point will both execute the Linux commands. But which one is going to be here more priority? Huh? Entry point. So next concept is going to be copy versus add. For example, you have a file on local. You want to copy that file to container. What you want to do? Copy that file to. How you can copy? With the help of copy module, you can be able to copy it. But for example, you want to copy a file, but the file is not on local, file is on internet. Then you can use the add component. Which one? Copy is to copy local files to the container, but add is to copy internet files to the container. See now, I'll show it practically. For example, now go here. I'll create a file called index.html. Touch index.html. Already you know how to write the content index.html, right? Just type here. Have I shown you how to create your index.htmls? No, right? For example, if you don't know how to create your index.html, go to W3 schools. What's happening here? Go to W3 schools. Let's type here login page. What I'm typing here? W3 school login type. If you type here, it is going to show a front-end basic file for you. Are you seeing a basic front-end file here? Now go here and click on forms with icon. You can see a form like this. If you click on try it yourself, I'll give you this link. Don't worry. For example, here what you are seeing, you can enter username, you can enter password, and you can enter the password, enable everything. So here I want to create my own image. So instead of registration form, here I can put movies. What I can put? Click on. Is it coming or not, sir? So if you want to create your own index.html, you can come to W3 schools. I'm giving this link for all of you. Link. You can use this link for index.html, okay? In your practice. Now I'll take this code and I'm gonna paste it here. Now here I have index.html and it is having some application code. Okay. I want to copy this index.html file to my container. How can I do? By using copy. So here go and and this time I won't use all of them. Why? Because these examples are already done. Okay. I can use here copy. Which file I'm copying? Index dot. To which folder I want to copy? TMP. As well as in internet I have Tomcat, sir. You know how to download Tomcat, right? DLCD and apache.org. If we go here, I have a Tomcat file where in internet I have DLCD and apache.org. So I want to download Tomcat version 9, 9.0.83 bin. Here you can see tar file. Are you seeing tar file here? Copy link address and give it here. Current tell me is this file is on your local or from internet. So just to give /tmp. That means this file need to be stored on tmp. Copy is going to copy local file. In local, I have index.html. Yes or not? As well as add. This file is from where? Which location? Internet. So both are going to copy to tmp folder. Which folder? Now again build it. Docker run. Tell me the command. IT is for container. I'm building image. Docker build command you need to write. What you need to write? -t Raham v4 and give file copied, and this is also coming to your image. Now see Docker images. Are you having image now? Version v4. In this version v4, you have Tomcat, you have index.html, and you have Ubuntu operating system. How to create container? Tell me the process. Docker run IT name container 4 or 5. 4 image. Currently you are on which folder? You want to go to tmp folder, cd/tmp. Give ll. Are you seeing index.html? Are you seeing Apache Tomcat? Now these both files are inside container. Where these both files on? How it came to container? By copying by copy module as well as by add. So these are two different components. Copy is to copy the local files to container. Add is to copy the. Is it clear now for all of you? Fine. Sunil, I'll tell you, don't worry, okay? How to give entry point. Fine. So this is going to be your example number 3. So is the example number 3 clear for all of you? Oh wait, example number 4 it might be. 1 second. Example number 3 is not given. Let me give example number 3. So here what I write? Run apt install MySQL -server for example 3, right? Run apt install maven -my. But there we use cmd, right? Example number 4 now this is. Come out of the container. Am Docker file. And again after this you need to run the Docker build and again you need to run the container. Just create the image, run the container. Create the image, run the container. That's it, sir. Are these 4 examples clear for all of you? Everyone. Again, what is from in Docker file? From is to get the base image. Run is to run the Linux commands, but it is going to create during image creation. CMD will execute container creation. Entry point is high priority than CMD. We will discuss it later. And copy. What is the purpose of copy? Copy local files. Add to copy internet files. Next year, workdir and label I'll speak about. Workdir means previously when you logged into the container, you gone to root path, right? But whenever I want to enter into container, I want to go to tmp folder. Which one? /tmp. Workdir /tmp means whenever you go inside the container, you will be going to tmp folder. Which folder? Clear now? Next year, label. You can give labels for your images. Label I am using author Raham Sheikh. Workdir/tmp means whenever I open the container, I'll go to tmp. Or if I want to go to root path, I need to go slash root. Or if I want to go to opt path, I need to go slash. Label means author Raham Sheikh. That means for this image, it is written by Raham Sheikh. Again, run this Docker file. Tell me the command now. I won't tell the command. Docker. Mm, 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 mm. Dot. Now from container creation. Mm, mm, mm. Uh, okay. Now you are on which path, sir? Why you came to TMP? Because you gave workdir TMP. And second thing, you gave the label Raham Sheikh, right? What is the command that will show complete information of Docker container? No, no, no. Docker inspect. Which one? Docker inspect container number will be 5, right? If you go to the top, you can see label. What is the label here? Label applied or not, sir? Like that. So workdir means you will be directly going to the specified location. And next year, label means you can give label for your container. So like that, you can give any label you want. Not only author Raham Sheikh, you can give whatever label you want to give for the image. Is the example number 5 clear for all of you? Workdir and label? Yes or no? Fine. So next year, I'm going to tell you about example 6. So let's open the Docker file. So here in Docker, we can pass some environment variables. What we can pass? Already you know about variables, right? For example, here if I give env client is Swiggy. And here env I use server is prod. For example, I'm telling. Okay, server is prod. For example, how many environment variables we are having? Client is Swiggy. Server means prod. And one more thing here, you can give expose. Expose is to expose the application. For example, if you want to go and give container port number, you can give container port number. Okay. Now look at these 3. Tell me what is the command? Vocable hyphen T. From this, what I want to create? Container. Tell me, Docker run. Now here, if I give echo $client, what is the client value here? Swiggy. Printing Swiggy. Environment variable working or not, sir? Next, second environment variable. Server name is echo $server. Are you seeing prod now? Like that. Come up the container. And what is the command to list the containers? Docker PS, right? For all of these containers, you don't have port number. But for this container, we got 8080 or not, sir? Why? Because you give expose there. What we give? Is the point clear for you know? So this is the way how you are going to deal with the Docker file. Okay, so it's the example number 6.5. So 6 examples we have seen in complete Docker file concept. So again, we have few other concepts also in Docker file, but that we are going to see in our upcoming sessions. Okay, copy this one and paste it. So again, one more time, I'll recap all of this Docker file. So Docker file is an automation way of creating the previously what you've done. You create a image, so you download image, you create container, you go and install package. From that container, you create the image. But here what I do is I'll create a file. In that file, I'll put whatever I want. Then I'll create a image automatically. From that image, what I'll run? Container, correct? Here we use components to create the images. In Docker file, D must be capital and components also. Here we can create image directly without container help. Already we seen. First we create image or container. From the image only we create the container. From is to get the base image. Run. Use it to run the and CMD also. But what is the difference? Run will execute during image creation. CMD will execute after container creation. Here entry point is there. Entry point is higher priority than CMD. Copy. Copy main purpose is to copy the local files to container. Add main purpose is to copy the files from internet. Local files, copy. Internet files, work dir means if you want to go to TMP folder, just give work dir TMP. Or if you want to go to OPT, just give OPT. Label. Is it to add label for the Docker? Images basically, not files. We need to call it as images. Next year, environment variable. Use it to set the environment variable, but this will work inside the. If we want to pass the environment variables from outside of the container, we need to give arguments. What we need to give? Arguments also I'll tell later. Okay, it is your upcoming concept. Next, expose. Main purpose is to port number. So are these components completely clear for all of you guys? Everyone. Online, what about you? Can you please confirm, are these Docker file components clear for all of you or not? Fine. So now we will do one small basic project. Okay. Let's create the Netflix application in the Docker containers. What we're gonna create? Netflix application. Or let's create our own application. Here are you seeing Paytm movies here? So I'll put here Paytm movies. What I'll put? Paytm movies. So that let's consider it is our application with small index.html code. Now, if I want to containerize it, I have the Docker file. So let's create the Docker file first of all. It's gonna be very, very easy. VM Docker file. First of all, I'll remove everything here. But I think have I given this example? Oh, fine. Sir, first for my container, I want Ubuntu as base image. Sir, tell me the comment. Wait. Tell me from Ubuntu. Next, I want to install package called Apache 2. Before install, I want to update. How can I write here? Run. Next, I want to install Apache. Run. Budget 2 -y. Next, in my local, I have index.html file. I want to copy it to Apache path. What is Apache path? Basic Apache path. Var www HTML, right? Already you know this, right? Right. Basic path of Apache is right. Web server path. Web server path is var/www/html. /var www. That is the web server path. Your front end code need to be present there. Okay. There we store front end code. Write this point also. There we have front end code in real time. By default, it gonna stop, Sunil. I'll show you how to run that without stopping. Okay. You can see it now. Don't worry. What is the point I said here? Where? Okay. Fine. So now here I'm using copy. What I'm copying here? Index.html to which path? Where? Why double and why this path, sir? In this path, we store our front end code of every application. Next here, CMD I'm using. What I'm using? Okay. All these commands will be executed during image creation, but CMD will execute after container creation. Now here, to control this Apache service, basically we use systemctl command, right? To control services. But for Apache, we use a command called Apache CTL. Which one? Apache CTL. But this Apache CTL is going to be on sbin folder. Which one? Sbin folder. But this sbin folder is going to be on USR folder. Which one? So Apache CTL is a command line tool for Apache service. It is going to be an sbin folder. That sbin folder is going to be presented inside user. I am running this Apache service on detached mode. IT means interactive mode. You will go to the container. D means detached mode. You will come out of the container. Till now we use IT, right? Whenever you use IT, you will be going inside the container. But if you use D, it will be coming out of container. I want my service to be running on foreground. Where? I'll ask a question. Whenever you stop the server, automatically service will be stopping or not, sir? I am telling to this, even if I stop the container, don't stop the service. Automatically restart it. Okay. That is the meaning of this one. Again, from Ubuntu, apt update, install Apache 2. And I'm copying index.html to this path. Why? Because my front end code need to be on this particular path. Here I'm using CMD. What I'm using, sir? So in user has been Apache CTL. It is the command line tool. What it is? Command line tool. And I'm running my server on detached mode. Which mode? Foreground means my service need to be running on foreground all the ways. Now save this Docker file. But before saving, is the concept clear if I know what I'm doing? So now build the Docker image. And one more thing, let me change the index.html. Okay, fine. Index.html no need to change. Build now. Tell me the command to create container. Hmm. Container 7. Movies. Sir, you are running this container on detached mode. Na? So just add D here. What I need to add? Or you can add at the end of the command also. It's fine wherever you add. And if I want to access this container, I need to have the port number. Port means -P. But because inside this container only, I have the application. If I need to see the application, I need to access the public IP address or not, sir? And we need to give the port number or not, sir? For container, port number will be 81. What is the container port number? and image port number will be 80. Container port number will be changed, but image port number will not be. Why? Because inside this image you have Apache. What is the Apache port number? We cannot change it, but container port number will be changed. Now if I hit enter, copy the public IP address of your EC2 instance, paste it on the browser. What is the port number of container? 81. See here, first of all, do you have container running or not? Docker ps-a. Is your Docker container running? That is the reason why it is not working, sir. What is the issue here? Means I'll tell you this very easily. Just compare this Docker file, whatever I'm showing you here. What is missing here? Only one thing missing. Commas. I think comma here and here. But in our Docker file, do we put comma? That is the reason container got exited. Okay. When the container got exit, we cannot use that application anymore. So what I do, I'll go to Docker file. Now this time I'll add commas. What I'll add, sir? Here as well as here. Now go and create the new image. Docker build -t. This time I'm taking movies version 2. What I'll take? Now this time I'll write the container 8, container 8 as well as port number 82. What I'll give? Now go and check. So instead of 81, just put 82 here. Your application will come. Again, one more time, check your container is running or not. What is the issue here? Sir, you build the movies V2, sir, but you gave which image, sir? That means again content will go to exit. For that purpose, we need to change the image. But here, unfortunately, we need to change the container also. 83 port number and container name is going to be 9. Now this time it will definitely work. Try to check. Port number is 83. Are you getting your application? That's it. The only issue is in Docker file, if you don't put comma, you can't get your application properly. Clear now? So even if you want to check, copy this public IP address and give port number 83 on mobile. All of you open your mobiles. I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna give it here. Guys, do it. HTTP and everything is not required. Okay, just remove slash, comma, everything required. Not required. Just access the public IP address and port number 83. And for online, even for you also, I'm giving this one. Take it. Try to check that online. Even you can use same port number. Who's this one? Sunil, you can give same. Image port number will not be changed. Why? Because it's fixed for HTTP, right? Are you getting the application? Like that. So don't worry, again, this concept I'll tell on upcoming days, okay? So Monday, I'm going to recap this concept one more time for you. So like this. I mean, like Monday means we have holiday, right? So next class is going to be obviously Tuesday, okay? Monday we have Christmas. Is the Docker file concept clear for all of you? And one more thing, have I shown you how to delete all of the containers at a single time? No, okay. Let's clear the complete containers. See, what is the command to list all the containers? Docker ps -a hyphen a. Are you listing all the containers? Now, if you want to get only container IDs, just add Q here. What I need to add? If you add hyphen A, it will get all the containers list. But if you want to check the IDs, just give Q. Are you seeing only IDs? Now, take this as variable. If I want to take this as variable, what I need to put here? Dollar. Okay. That means all these values will be coming to this variable now. Correct or not, sir? Now go here and give Docker stop. Why? Because before removing, we need to stop. Docker stop dollar Docker ps -a means all these containers are together going to stop, sir. Now all the containers are stopped. If you want to delete, you need to give Docker. What is the command to delete container? Docker rm. Now if you go and check Docker ps -a, you won't see any single container, right? So here just do this variable, okay? Use this variable. It's gonna take care of everything. So here how to do it, I'm gonna write it here for you. To delete all containers. First of all, give Docker ps-a. What is this command? Containers. And Docker ps-aq means to show all container IDs. So now what you gonna do? Take that as variable. What you gonna do? Docker stop and finally Docker rm. Docker rm first of all. And you Docker stop. This command and this command. Clear now? That's it, sir. So it's enough for today. Okay, and one more thing, like we have a small concept of networking, which we can finish it on like networking, not to tell now. But still we have a lot of time. What to do in 30 minutes? Okay, I'll tell about a bit volumes. Basically, what is the meaning of volume? Means, sir, you have container, right? Inside this container, if you want to store data, how can you store this with the help of volume? So volume is nothing but it's a folder which contains the data of container. See, if you want me to show. Next time, still we have 30 minutes, right? So if I leave you 30 minutes before, so definitely it's not a good thing actually. I can't leave 30 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes is fine. So volume, see, this is just a basic concept. Okay, we can finish in 10 minutes only. So here I'm speaking about volumes. What I'm speaking about now? Volume is easy to store the data inside the container. For example, if we have the container, let's take it is container. Inside container, if I want to store it, I need to create a volume. Inside this volume, we can store the data, sir. What we can store? So it's my container. Inside my container, I do have a volume. Inside the volume, I have now data. So this volume is simply a folder. We can call this. Volume is simply a directory or folder. Volume is simply what? Directory or folder. Clear now? Next. Container uses host resource. Already you know. Containers use CPU, RAM, and ROM of our host machine. Single volume can be shared to multiple containers. That means I have this container 1, which is having the volume 1. What is having? Container 1 is having volume 1, sir. For example, let's take it is the volume 1 for me. So it is my volume. Okay. So now inside this container 1, we have volume 1. So this volume we can be able to share across multiple containers, container 1 and container 2. See, let's consider it is the volume 1. This I can share my container 2, and the same volume I can be able to share to my container 2. Same data will be traveling from container 1 to container 2 and container 3 also. It doesn't matter like how many for how many containers you want to share the volume. You can share the containers volume as per your requirement. What is the container 3? It is a container number 2. Point clear, no? Simply, I have a container 1. Inside container 1, if I want to store data, I need to create a volume. Volume is nothing but a folder directory. So inside container, you can store the volume, sir. Single volume can be shared to multiple containers, but at a time, we can share only to one container. Okay, that is the main point here. So if I have a container 1, if I have volume 1 in container 1, I can share to container 2, I can share to container 3, I can share to container 4. But at a single time, I can share only for one container. Every volume will be storing on varlib Docker volumes. Basically, for Jenkins, we have varlib Jenkins, right? But for Docker, we have varlib Docker. What we have? For Jenkins, varlib Jenkins. For Docker, varlib Docker. So to create the volumes, there will be multiple methods. First method is Docker file. Docker file already you know, right? So which is very, very easy for you to understand. And let me remove all the images also. Are you having multiple images? If you want to remove all the images, Docker image hyphen AQ. Hyphen AQ means what it will do? It will bring me the, oh, sorry. Docker images. Are you seeing IDs of image? For containers, Docker PS hyphen AQ. But for images, so all of this I'm going to take as now variable. How to take variable? Put dollar symbol. Now, Docker RM. RM is for remove, but you are removing now images, right? So put I. For container RM, but for images RM I. Just do forcefully. Every image will be gone now. Okay. Like that, sir. So now if you go Docker images, are you seeing any images here? No. So this is the way how you can list out all the image IDs. Okay. Same like whatever the previous command I said for you, same replica. So here to remove images. So this command is to show image IDs. If you want to remove them, which command you need to use? Docker RM. Docker RMI. Here I stand for image. For container only RM, but for image I need to give to remove all images. Okay. So now see with the help of Docker volume, with the help of Docker file, how I am going to create that image. Process is very, very easy. AM Docker file. Basic, I want Ubuntu image. What I want? If you want to create a volume, you need to write here volume. Volume component. What is the name of my volume? I'm going to give it as volume 1. What I'll use? Right? Build a image from it. Tell me the command to build a image. Hyphen D. Image. Raham V1 I can use. Why? Because I don't have Raham V1 image now. From the image, can we create container? Tell me the command then. Container 1. And you Raham. So if you give LL, you'll be seeing volume 1. Are you seeing volume 1? Now go to the volume 1 and put some data. I am creating 5 files. Touch file 1 dot 5. Are you seeing 5 files here? If you want to put data, you can put data VIM file1, right? So here by default VIM will not work. We need to install VIM. Okay. Or if you want to use, you can use cat command also. Instead of installing VIM separately, I'm using cat command. Hi all. This is my volume 1 in container 1. Save this one. Come out of the container. What just I have done is I'll show everything here. With the help of Docker file, I create a volume and I build the image, I run it, I go inside the volume. Okay. Next, I create some files, I enter some content, and I'm exiting. Okay. Now, here you have the container one. Inside the container one, you have volume one or not, sir? Inside volume one, you have data. How many files you have here? Here I have 5 number of files. In the 5 number of files, you have some data, for example. 5 files. Now, if I want to share this volume from container 1 to container 2, I need to run the command. What I need to run here? Command. How to write the command means very easy. First of all, tell me the command to create container 2. Tell me the command to create container 2. Docker run. Use Ubuntu image. Why? Because if you use Raham, already in Raham you have container, right? I want to share the volume. If I use Raham image, container will come from image. But I want container from image, or sorry, I want volume from image, or I want volume from another container. You got the point? In already Raham one image, I have the volume. If I use that image, volume will come by image. But I want to get the volume from one container to another container. For that purpose, first of all, here I write the container to command. Is it clear till now? Just write hyphen volumes from. You are sharing volume from which container? Clear? And give permissions. Hyphen privileged is equal to true. Privileged is equal to true means I'm giving permissions. See, first of all, I am writing basic container to command, but in middle I am adding volumes I am getting from which container? Privileged is equal to true means permission. Yes. Now you are on container 2, right? Are you seeing volume 1? CD volume 1. Are you seeing the files here? And are you seeing the data here? Are you able to see or not, sir? How the volume 1 traveling from container 1 to container 2 means I shared the data. So here container 1, I have volume 1. What I have done from container 1 to, I shared the volume 1 from container 1 to container 2. Data will be transferring or not, sir? Now inside the same containers, you have same volume or different volume? Same content or different content? That's it. Now come out of it. Sir, if I want to share it to container 3 also, how I can share? First of all, let's write the command to create container 3. Docker, tell me the command. Hmm. Hmm. Why I'm using Ubuntu? Why not Raham V1? Already in that image we have the volume. Next here write hyphen volumes from container 1 or container 2. Why? Because those both having same volume. And hyphen is equal to clear na, sir? If you run that command, automatically volume will be coming from container 1 to container 3. Is the point clear? That's it. But I'm not running. Why? Because this one example is enough. So this is the method number 1. Or if you want me to show like how to run this one, I'll write this one. Why? Because for your clarity only, Ubuntu. Currently, are you getting volume 1 again? CD volume 1. Are you seeing same content? Correct or not, sir? So like this is the way how you can share the volume. So this is the way how we are going to deal with volumes. Okay. So again, I'm taking this one, volumes. I'm gonna take it from here and I'm gonna paste it on your notes. Can we run this command one more time? Okay. First of all, is the method number one creating the volumes from Docker file clear for all of you? But we can do it activity on one more way also. For example, tell me the command to create this one. Wait, I need to give this one also for you. Again, I am creating container 3. Okay. So from method 2, we can do from CLI. CLI is very easy, sir. Let's create the container 4. What I'm going to create here? Container 4. So what I'm doing is here Docker run -it name container 4. I'm using here. If you want volume now, what will put, just put -v. -v for my volume name is going to be volume 2. What my volume name is? Are you seeing volume to create? Previously we put from Docker file, but now I'm putting it from CLI. Again, go here, CD volume to create some other files. You can give whatever files you want. So here I create Java files, but you can create whatever the files you want. Okay. Java files created here, come out of the container. Now volume 2 is inside which container? Container number 4. Which container? Now I want to transfer the volume from container 4 to container 5. Again, same command. Can you tell me the command? First of all, what we need to run the container 5 creation command. Tell me the command. Name container 5 and image Ubuntu. In last, what I need to write here? Next. Are you seeing volume 2? CD volume 2. Seeing the files here? That means you can use Docker file to create the volume, which is method number 1, and you can create the volume from CLI. Which one is easy to understand, from Docker file or CLI? CLI is very easy, right? Just put -v and you can give the name of the volume. Whatever the volume you want to go, you can go to that particular volume. See, command is not changing, sir. Here and here, method number 1, method number 2, command is going to be same. But method is going to change. Here we create volume from CLI and here we create from. Is the concept clear now? So that's it for today. So I'm gonna give history commands for you so you can practice. So now in today's session, how many topics we have seen, sir? How many? We have seen what is Docker file and we have seen how to create the volumes. Basically, volume also we create from the Docker file only. Again, one more time I'll tell about volumes here. Just a recap for you. Volume is to store data inside the container. Typically, volume is a simple directory. That is a folder. Containers is a host operating system. Single volume can be shared to multiple containers. But at a time, how many volumes we can share? What is the volume path? Var lib docker volumes. If you want me to show here, cd var lib docker. If you go enter things, if you want Docker images, go to here. If you want Docker containers, go to here. Now what I want here, Docker volumes. Go to volumes. Are you seeing our volumes? It is our volume, sir. So that's enough for today. Okay. So now is the concept clear for all of you? Yes or no? Really, is it clear? Or any doubts you are having? If you are having any doubts, we still have 15 minutes of time. You can ask your doubts. Sunil, I think in last session you heard about Docker registry, right? Ubuntu image you will get from registry. I said about the architecture very clearly, na? So this concept to share the volume to new containers. So last question you will be getting clarity in your next concept. I mean like next day. There is a concept called Docker mount. In the Docker mount, I will be creating the volume locally and I can send it to the existing containers as well as new containers also. Fine. So now if you are having any doubts or any queries, guys, we have some time to speak. You can ask your doubts and queries. Sai, you have both shifts, night shift and morning shift, okay? If you are working on DevOps means you need to be ready for both the shifts. Sometimes you need to work on night shift, sometimes you need to work on morning shift. It happens. Which company names are? Nobody can tell that. Every company will do the same thing, Sai Gautam. If you don't want night shifts, you can work as developer. Developers will don't work on night shifts. Even developers, testers will not work. DevOps and cloud team will work on night shifts, sir. And production also. So guys, is the concept clear of Docker file? Examples and everything? Got the clarity? What happened to all of you seems so dull today? What happened? Huh? Hangover. So tomorrow is going to be, and day after tomorrow is going to be holiday for you. So next class is going to be on Tuesday. So come to the class on Tuesday. So it's going to be holiday for next 2 days for you. So that's it I want to tell. So anything if you want to ask, you can ask. Yeah.
Your question is not clear. Can you ask one more time? Sorry?
If it is service, uh, into the container or in the container? In the container. You can do from both. From both you can do. Ask for experience certificate. Naresh IT won't provide Sai Gautam experience certificate. Okay, fine. So I hope it is clear for all of you, right? So let's meet on your Tuesday session. Have a great day. Bye all. Thank you. No, Venkatesh, we can't.